Hey everyone, Sin here. I'm going to show you how I set up my keybinds and my user interface that I built for Star Wars: The Old Republic. This is for subscribers or people that have unlocked the additional 2 action bars. It still can work for other action bars if you have less than that. I believe it's 4 for preferred and 3 for free to play. But this is based on subscribers, so tweak as you need. But this video will be hopefully helpful to how I set everything up. So after you copy my 3 profiles for the user interface into your Star Wars user interface folder, when you're in game, you're going to load it up, and the first thing you're going to see is main healer, main action bar builder, and then the main, which a lot of you are familiar with. This is the one that I started with and I still use for DPS. I may tweak this in the future or do a revision to it, but for now this is the main one I use for DPS. So what are the other 2 that I have here? The first one is my main action bar builder. I'm going to load that up. Everything is hidden, and as you can see, everything's kind of blown up and made really big so it's easy to see. So I have all 6 action bars here. This is the main action bar, as you can see, because then you can, this is where the lock icon is, this is where you can change your interfaces. But you're going to set up all your abilities on the bars. It doesn't really matter which order you do it in, whatever's helpful for you. And then you can keybind any one of these. So as you can see, I have various keybinds, my F1, F2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks very generic, but I have a keyboard that I can reference these in short manner, and same with the mouse. So these are all really just programmed differently on my mouse and keyboard. So you're going to set your abilities, do your keybinds, and then this is all you do. This is where you set up your skills and where you want them. Okay? So after that's done, you're going to go back to the interface editor, and now I'm going to load up the main healer. And now you'll notice, oh man, everything, all the action bars are gone. I got one in the bottom left and one up here. So if you see in the bottom, I know it's small. I made it small for a reason because I don't need to see it. But if I need to access it, I don't want to have to go in interface editor and enable an action bar, especially mid raid or flashpoint or something like that. But if you hold the shift key and use the mouse wheel up and down, you can cycle through each action bar. But if you notice, none of the action bars actually have the keybounds still stuck to it. There's no F1 or number pad 1 or 1, 2, 3, 4 on any of these action bars. But they do still work. So even though you don't see it, they still work. So now I have an action bar over here, and this action bar is just a cooldown or informational action bar. If any of you have used weak auras or something similar in other MMOs that allow add-ons, this is kind of what I'm using now. Yes, of course, I can click it. It's a clickable action bar, it's just like any other action bar, but I use it as a reference when I'm healing. So, for example, Dark Heal is right here, but if you go to my action bar, I have Dark Heal down here. Or if we go to my action bar builder, Dark Heal is F1. So, I'm going to heal with Dark Heal right now in my keybound ability. But if I go back to my main healer, I'm just using it to see when it procs. So I'm going to go through some abilities here, get it to proc here.
You can't die, Master. I'd never recover.
Okay. So now it's procced, I see it glowing, and now I know I can cast it. And then my consume darkness also procs, so I can cast that a few times. So I'm just using this, and you can, whatever class you are, you can use this however you want. If you don't want to see this and you like how it's nice and small down here, and yet you can still scroll and look at abilities after you set it up on the keybound action builder, that's fine. You can just go to interface editor and just hit disable, and now you won't see it. Uh, so now let's go into, oops, I'm sorry. Let's get that back. And you'll see your operation frames are down here. I have them set up by a 4x4. So what that means is you're going to have 4 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 are visible. That's enough for 16. That's the most I do. If there's a special event where it's much larger group, I would maybe adjust accordingly. I may even just, in a temporary case, maybe just, that rare case you may be doing a world boss and you have more, um, you can maybe, show more groups and then save it and then, call it something else and then bring it back. So that is why I use this action bar. I keep it nice and small down here. I want to see where my abilities are, and keep it really clean view when I'm healing. And I like to see certain abilities come off on either cooldown or procs or whatever the case may be. You can even have it as a, you know, an oh crap button, and you can hit it and it could be your bubble if you don't have that keybound. So those are how I set up my profile. Any questions, please leave a comment, and thanks again.